James Gunn defends the Batman Part 2's 5-year gap, flipping fan frustration with logic that'll have you rethinking the wait. Read full story here. Welcome to Stats In. If you're just joining us, please subscribe and don't forget to turn on notifications bell for more video. Fans were fuming over the Batman Part 2's 5-year wait, but James Gunn had a way of flipping the script. While the Bat faithful raged, Gunn swooped in with a logic bomb. He argued that great storytelling thrives on time, letting ideas, characters, and fans breathe a little. With Robert Pattinson's broody Batman gearing up for a deeper dive into Gotham's shadows, Gunn's reasoning might just turn frustration into anticipation. DC fans were hit hard when Warner Bros. Announced that the Batman Part 2 would be delayed to fall 2027, a full 5 years after the first film. But James Gunn stepped in to cool the flames, offering a perspective that might just change everything. Gunn, co-CEO of DC Studios, dropped a truth bomb on Threads, reminding fans that big gaps between sequels weren't exactly new. He said, "To be fair, a 5-year gap or more is fairly common in sequels. 7 years between Alien and Aliens. 14 years between Incredibles. 7 years between the first 2 Terminators. 13 years between Avatars. 36 years between Top Guns. And, of course, 6 years between Guardians Volume 2 and Volume 3. The delay was about precision. Gunn explained that director Matt Reeves hadn't turned in a complete script yet. Reeves' focus? Delivering a sequel that lives up to the 2022 masterpiece. Gunn alluded, "The only reason for the delay is there isn't a full script. Matt is committed to making the best film he possibly can, and no one can accurately guess exactly how long a script will take to write. Once there is a finished script, there is around 2 years for pre-production, shooting, and post-production on big films." Would Robert Pattinson still fit the cowl by the time this trilogy wrapped? While frustration brewed, James Gunn's logic highlighted that time could be a creative ally, not an enemy. For now, fans can take solace in the fact that greatness takes time. And in Gotham, it's always worth the wait. Fans have mixed reactions to the Batman Part 2 delay, with some calling the 5-year gap ridiculous and others defending the focus on the Penguin and other DC projects. The debate over patience versus frustration is heating up. While some argue the wait undermines the hype, others see it as a necessary step for greatness. With the Penguin and Creature Commandos aired recently and Superman, Legacy, and Peacemaker in the mix, James Gunn's the DC slate promises plenty to keep fans entertained. Is the perfectly contrasting yet fitting world for Robert Pattinson's Batman to cross over. Welcome to Stats In. If you're just joining us, please subscribe and don't forget to turn on notifications bell for more video. James Gunn has the perfect opportunity to introduce Batman to the DCU. Matt Reeves much anticipated the Batman. Part 2 has reportedly been delayed by another year and will be released in 2027. As the DCU gears up for its big screen debut, with Superman releasing next year, a crossover with Robert Pattinson's Batman may do the DCU a lot of good. Reeves has maintained that his Batman's epic crime saga is an Elseworld project that is separate from the DCU. Some are of the opinion that Reeves' grounded and gritty Gotham is too different to believably cross over to Gunn's Superman, which seems to be going more into the comic book fantasy realm. However, that might be the perfect reason for them to cross over. The DCU has its Superman in David Corenswet, but it is yet to recruit its Caped Crusader. James Gunn announced the DCU slate back in 2023 with a proper plan. He mentioned that the first chapter of the DCU would focus on gods and monsters, with films on Superman, Clayface, the Brave and the Bold, the Authority, and Supergirl being announced. The DCU began officially this year with the Max series Creature Commandos. Earlier this month, Gunn also released the first teaser trailer for Superman, with Corenswet leading. Focusing on a younger Superman, the trailer showed a glimpse at the DCU world, which already has multiple superheroes and cosmic kaiju ready to attack Metropolis. There has never been a more obvious contrast to Matt Reeves' The Batman and its slate of films and shows, which recently expanded with the Penguin. While a crossover between these two entities in a world's finest adaptation might be far from reality, fans believe that the contrasting imagery might just be perfect for the DCU. Robert Pattinson's Batman is also a younger hero who has just begun his vigilante activities. Despite the raw and gritty Gotham, might not fit into the cosmically ballistic world of Gunn's Metropolis. However, this contrast itself may just be the perfect metaphor for a crossover. One film that was announced as part of the first chapter of the DCU was a Batman film titled The Brave and the Bold, which would explore the Caped Crusader's relationship with Damian Wayne and the Bat family. Andy Muschietti is set to direct the film, although it is still reportedly in development and does not have a strict timeline. With Matt Reeves' The Batman, Part 2 now delayed to 2027, it is doubtful that WB and DC Studios would want two competing Batman titles released close to each other. Gunn definitely would want the DCU's Batman to be considered as seriously as Reeves, despite the seniority, but it would be confusing for the audience if the timelines were too close. A crossover between Robert Pattinson's current Elseworld Batman with David Corenswet's DCU Superman might just be the best idea, and it is not just the fans who think so. James Gunn said in the Happy, Sad, Confused podcast that he had contemplated Pattinson's role in the DCU. He said, "I've contemplated it, yeah. I contemplate everything. I talk about everything. I'd be an idiot not to think of how can this go, or how can this go, but I'm committed to both telling stories in the DCU and telling Elseworld stories." He mentioned that it was ultimately Matt Reeves' choice to keep his Batman separate from the DCU. It might be a good choice too, as Reeves' increasingly street-level world is a welcome change from all the multiversal shenanigans in the superhero genre. But if Pattinson remains outside the DCU, it might take longer for Batman to enter Gunn's universe. Superman is set to bring in a range of side characters who can also be expected to play a major role in the upcoming DCU, including Guy Gardner. Welcome to Stats In. If you're just joining us, please subscribe and don't forget to turn on notifications bell for more video. James Gunn's upcoming Superman movie is set to introduce Nathan Fillion as Guy Gardner, a Green Lantern with a controversial comic book past. While fans are eager to see Fillion's interpretation of the character, questions arise about how the DCU will navigate Gardner's problematic history, including moments that reflect poorly on his character, even within the canon of the comics. This, unfortunately, includes the one instance when Gardner was seen, at least momentarily, considering RA*****G a knockdown Power Girl. While highly unlikely that any interpretation of this scene will make its way to Superman, the fact that Gardner is in fact part of the movie is bound to raise concern. Guy Gardner's history in DC Comics is marked by moments that many fans and critics find deeply problematic. One of the most troubling instances comes from JLA. Classified number 7, part of the 6-issue arc, I Can't Believe It's Not the Justice League,